Wow, man. That was a clip from Straight Outta Compton. That movie came out back in 2015, Rev. You remember that, right?
Of course, even my son remembers that. That's why I was playing it for him.
Yeah, Silas, that his son, who's 12 years old, is a big fan of that movie, but he's also a big fan of the culture. And the person in that was Corey Reynolds, who was starring as our next guest. And we played that Turn Off the Lights song that came out in the mid-'80s, 1987. And I remember being in the Bay Area as a youth and listening to that song and not understanding, like, what the heck is this?
Right.
Where did it come from? Who are these people? And who is that singer who turned out to be Michelet? And who went on to a lot of fame. Her voice is iconic in itself. And it made us, at that time, King Tech and I were aspiring artists ourselves, so we was listening to a lot of music. What people don't realize when it comes to the West Coast, there were a lot of things. When we talk about hip-hop, 50 years of hip-hop, and we talk about the Kool Hercs and the Grandmaster Flashes and the Africa Bambatas, there were things happening parallel on the other side of the country to some of the strides they were making in the 70s. There were things that were happening that ultimately evolved and formed what we know now as the West Coast hip-hop scene. Before World Class Wrecking Crew, there was Uncle Jam's Army, and that's kind of where I started in my history, right? And so I wanted to have this guest come up here who's been in the DNA of all of that classic hip-hop that came out of L.A., even the L.A. Dream Team, when all of these different things and movements were happening, this man was very instrumental for a number of reasons, and he was portrayed in Straight Outta Compton in a really interesting way. And so I always wanted to ask him about it, and I want to welcome him to the show. The one and only DJ Alonzo, a.k.a. Alonzo Williams, is here. World Class Wrecking Crew. My brother, man.
Love,
welcome
man.
to the show.
Glad to have you. Glad to be on the show, man.
Man, thank you, man. When we saw each other in CSUN the other day, King Tech and I just went and sat down. It was like, yo, that was DJ Alonzo, man. Yeah. And I feel like we never really get a chance to see you or hear you talk about the history as you know it, right?
You know what? I don't get to tell the history. I do a lot of podcasts.
Okay.
I have my own podcast. My man Dusty's in the house with
What
me.
up, Dusty?
We do a podcast every Tuesday, NWA Stories with Lonzo. But most people don't even think about the history of West Coast hip-hop before NWA.
Exactly.
They think NWA fell out the sky like rain, like Terminators. And, It was a history before that they don't even know.
Yes.
Okay? The Uncle Jam's Armies, before the Uncle Jam's Armies, me and Roger Clayton from Uncle Jam's Army, we were both DJs. We were both promoters. There was a whole culture of promotions going on in party promotions going on in L.A. before anything.
Yes.
And that's where we came from. We migrated from that into we were DJs, promoters. Then I became a club owner at 22.
What's the name of that club?
Eve After Dark.
Eve After Dark.
And before I forget about it,
yeah.
Tonight at the Barbara Morrison Center, Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center, I'm doing a screening of the Eve After Dark documentary. I did a doc. When Dre and them stood on did the thing for Compton, Dre stood on the Eve After Dark. Okay. He stood on that club for a reason. He was on that stage for a reason. That's where he and we all started off at. That's when the hip-hop, that was the origins of West Coast hip-hop, was Eve After Dark.
You hear that?
The documentary, I did it. We were in the Pan-African Film Festival, kicked ass in the Pan-African Film Festival. It had 2 showings in the Pan-African Film Festival. We just made the Rome Film Festival, and I'm doing a private screening tonight at the Barbara Morrison Center in L.A. Tickets available on Eventbrite. Eve After Dark is the keyword. Got to plug that,
Eve
baby.
After Dark. So let's put it in perspective. What year did you own that club, you and Roger Clayton, and who was Roger?
Roger didn't own the club with me.
Okay.
I got the club in 1979.
Okay.
I started DJing fresh out of high school in 75. Yes, I'm an old son of a bitch, okay?
Yeah, I couldn't tell, brother.
Okay. A lot of just for men, baby. I got to paint this shit in the
You
morning.
know what? Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Hey, I ain't no shame of mine. But I leave the gray streak just to let people know this is still real.
Okay.
Me and Roger was rolling together in like 76 and 76, 77. And then we worked together for a long time. And I had an action to get in the club in 1979, and I took it. He was from another neighborhood, and he couldn't come over there. He wouldn't come over there. So me and my folks got together, and we created the Eve After Dark, and it started to jump off. I'd asked Roger to be a part of it in the beginning.
Yeah.
He turned me down. Too many Sherm heads, too many blood, blah, blah, blah. But I know all the Sherm heads and all the bloods. But this ain't no problem for me. And he turned it down, and once we got it cracking, he wanted to come into the deal.
Okay.
I don't need you now, dude. He got mad. I'm going to be the biggest promoter in the world, blah, blah, blah. And he did become the biggest promoter on the West Coast. Okay, with Uncle Jam's Army, no doubt about that. But I was the most consistent. I stayed on that. I had that corner in 6 other clubs over 40 years. I just retired from the club business in 2019.
Okay, so were you ever a member of Uncle Jam's Army?
I was, no, because Uncle Jam's Army, Uncle Jam's Army, before it was Uncle Jam's Army, it was Unique Dreams Entertainment.
Okay.
I was a part of Unique Dreams Entertainment. Okay. And my company was Disco Construction. I was Disco Construction, and my name was Disco Lonzo. We talk about Donna Summer days, okay? BG days, KC and the Sunshine Band days, right? So now it started to get into the funk. Disco sucks all of a sudden.
Yep.
So now I got to change my name, and I changed my company name from Disco Construction to the Wrecking Crew.
Okay.
The Wrecking Crew was a part of Disco Construction. Roger, when George Clinton dropped this album, Uncle Jam's Army was on it. Uncle Jam's Army was on the album cover. It says Uncle Jam's Wants You.
Yeah, with the finger.
Right, with the finger.
Yeah.
He borrowed that, okay, and became Uncle Jam's Army. So I was never a part of Uncle Jam's Army, but we all intertwined, and we had this love-hate relationship, man. Like I say, we had the nitro and the glycerin that blew up the West Coast.
So let's talk about Uncle Jam's Army, because that's Arabian Prince was in Uncle Jam. But Egyptian Lover. Ice-T was in Uncle Jam's Army?
He was around. He performed it with Uncle Jam's Army from time to time.
Okay.
Yeah. He would go to their dances and perform.
All right.
Yes.
Where was DJ Clientele at that time?
Clientele was with me.
He was with you?
Eve After Dark.
Okay, so who else was in Uncle Jam's Army?
Dwayne Muffler, who produced Houdini. Malone.
Hold up. Dwayne Muffler, who produced Houdini.
Houdini.
Dwayne was from where?
Uncle Jam's Army.
From L.A.
Yeah, from L.A.
Okay.
Yes.
Houdini was from where?
From New York.
And what year was that?
That was like 80-something, man, like maybe 82, 83, something like that.
The point I'm making is there was a lot of West Coast involvement and influence in New York success that you never hear about.
Bobcat was LL Cool J's DJ.
And where was Bobcat from?
From L.A.
Okay, and so LL's first album,
right,
Bobcat was producing and DJing with LL, right? And the L.A. Dream Team.
L.A. Dream Team was from L.A. L.A. But I don't know if there's anything in New York. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they okay. Continue.
Okay. So yeah, we had this love-hate relationship, man. That stayed until the brother died in 2010. Man, I wrote a book. I got a copy for you upstairs in my car. My assistant left it anyway.
Okay. All right.
Damn.
But she's the same assistant. But she introduced us. So,
yes,
you know.
She
All right.
She did her part.
Okay.
But
why you and Roger couldn't get along? Was it a money thing?
No, it never was a money thing, dude. It was a personality thing, man.
Okay.
I'm a fun-loving, upbeat kind of dude, man. Roger's the control freak.
Okay.
He wants to control everything. You can't run this. And that was a problem we had. Okay. Anybody that knew him, he was a good dude, but he wanted to control everything. He was like Prince. He wanted to be, but you ain't had that money. You ain't got enough money to control nobody.
Yeah.
And me, I'm like, come on, man, let's make this happen. Come on, let's do this. You want to be a DJ? Come on in the club. You want to be a rapper? Come on in the club.
Okay.
You want to get in the studio? Come on in the studio. And this is why my family tree is so vast. I've always been, come on, man, what you want to do? He ain't like that. And he thought it should be more exclusive. I don't believe in exclusivity like that. I believe in helping everybody, man.
Okay, so you formed World Class Wrecking Crew, right? It was a branch, an extension of the disco construction, and then you start recruiting members of World Class Wrecking Crew. Who was the original members of the World Class Wrecking Crew?
Now, understand this: before we became World Class, we was just the Wrecking Crew.
Okay.
We had guys that was in the Wrecking Crew that didn't make records before. Like guys, Billy T, he passed. Ron, my boy Dr. Rock out of Texas. He was working. He did a lot of stuff with Tom Joyner back in the day. Then we realized there was another Wrecking Crew out of Detroit that was like a house band for a record company. So we got a cease and desist letter. Can't use Wrecking Crew. So I called my lawyer. I said, if we drop the G and mess up the spelling on the crew and add world class, this was 84, can we use world class Wrecking Crew? He said, yeah. And that's how we became world class Wrecking Crew. Now, Yella was the first member of world class Wrecking Crew.
DJ Yella. Shout out
DJ
a
Yella.
big round of applause for Yella. First member.
Right.
Where did y'all find each other?
Back in the day, man, being a promoter in L.A., our main source of advertising was posters.
Okay.
And if you hung over somebody's posters, that was a major violation. They get your ass whooped.
Yeah.
And so what I did, I got pissed at everybody one day. I said I want me a poster bounty hunter to go out and snatch off all the promoters' posters off the wall. I put a 50-cent bounty on every poster they brought back.
50 Cent.
50 cent.
Before 50 Cent.
Mad
50 cent
lollipops.
bounty. Okay, I was mad. Okay.
All right.
And
Damn, cheap
I needed-
work.
I needed somebody with a card, right? With a car, right? My partner brought me Yella. Yella had an old Mercury, okay, little white Mercury Monarch, ugly ass car, smoked like a train. And Yella took the job, and I wanted all the dance promoters posters, right? Yella brought me back missing dog, babysitting posters, house for sale, cleaning shop. He just stacked the deck. I had to respect his hustle.
Okay.
Okay. And then shortly after that, DJ Dr. Rock left, and Yella said he was a DJ. Nah, he couldn't mix a drink with a blender, but I needed a DJ. So I slid him in that slot, and he made it happen, okay? And he became pretty good. Eventually became pretty good. And then Clientele, I met Clientele.
Okay.
And
DJ Clientele.
I gave a rap contest. Clientele kicked ass in the rap contest. Come on over here. Let's do this right quick. Then Dre just kind of stumbled in a few weeks later.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre came in. He was about 17, maybe 18. He might have been 17 going on 18. I'm not sure. But he was young. And he came in. He came to the club with Eazy-E. And at that time, the dress codes for getting in clubs was a lot different than it is today. And they didn't meet the dress code.
Okay.
Now, I told them they couldn't come in, but then Dre hit me. He said, man, you know my people. I said, who's your people? Theodore, blah, 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 blah. Well, come to find out, Dre's dad lived on my street. So I knew all his uncles and aunts or whatever, so I knew the kid.
Yeah.
Tell you what, come back, get straight, I'll let you in. Because technically, I had it at 18 and over club. It was a teen club, but I had it at 18 and over because I didn't want to be no romper room shit. I was thinking more like Soul Train, not romper room.
Yeah.
Okay? And I had a dress code because Soul Train was a big influence on what we did here on the West Coast. So Dre came back, suited and booted like he wanted to, like I had asked him to. Easy rolled up with him, didn't come correct, and started talking shit. So I flexed on him. Get your little ass up out of here. So that was real talk. So Dre came in the club, got on the turntables, and I tell this story. I've told this story 1,000 times. I'm going to tell it 1,001 today. I don't know how Dre got on my turntables. He didn't clear it with me. But he started doing this mix. That was the shit. And I'm listening, damn, that's kind of dope. Well, it wasn't dope. It was fresh back then.
That was fresh, right? Yeah.
That's fresh.
Yeah.
And we got to kicking it, man. And, you know, he told me, gave me some personal thing. Come to find out, his dad them lived on my street. I knew his mom the whole 9 yards. And shortly after that, because I was already making records, I was making bootlegs. I was making underground mixes. We got them from New York, but it was all mashed together. Okay, but some of the things wasn't working. Well, some of the music wasn't working for L.A., so we started making our own. And I wanted Dre and Yella to start making them for me. Yella made it for me already. I wanted Dre to come in as well. And that was our first introduction to records.
Yeah.
On the mix underground tip. I had a label called Z-Rock, Cut Up, House Party. I had about 4 or 5 labels.
Wow.
Had about 4 or 5 underground labels that I was pushing.
I know all those labels. That was you?
That was me.
Did you do it through McCullough?
Yeah.
McCullough?
No, I did them through Bill Smith first.
Okay.
Bill Smith was a small label out of El Segundo, California. And you could go to Bill with cash and go do your thing, okay? That was my introduction to the record business. See, people don't understand that for me, my last job in 1979 was working for a record distributor. I sold records over the phone to all the record stores. So as you can tell,
What were the big record stores at that time?
VIP, Big Ben's, it was warehouse. We couldn't sell the warehouse, but they had a lot of independent black record stores. VIP was my biggest customer. Steve Yano, rest of the soul. The Rodeo Swap Meet was my biggest customer. So because I had the list, and they fired my ass, I kept my list. So everybody recognizes my voice, and I started talking to them. So I'm talking to these people for the last year on the phone. So when I called them from my home phone, they just thought I was coming in to sell some records.
Yeah.
So I'm selling these bootlegs. So I created a whole network, excuse me, underground network for my bootleg records, and I was through Bill Smith. He was cash and carry.
Okay.
But that was cool back then because I was selling them so fast. I didn't mind. I was doubling my money on a regular basis, maybe sometimes 3 times more. And so we was doing this, but all of a sudden the market got saturated because I was the first cat with a multi-track recorder in 1200s. Okay, then that shit became popular and regular, became standard equipment. Everybody got in the game. I got out the game, went legit. That's when I made the record called Slice with Yella, and I came back with Surgery shortly after that.
Surgery. Let's listen to Surgery. You got that, Rev?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go into Surgery. You getting this true, indeed, thorough West Coast history. Surgery came out in what year?
84.
1984.
Right after the Olympics.
West Coast. Let's go.
How much time we got?
Records. Mixer. Turntables. Speakers.
7 days a week, he's on call to get the party people up off the wall. You'll feel motivated as he operates, 'cause party energy is what he generates. He'll prescribe for you his potent elixir, 2 turntable speakers and a mixer. He'll rock your party wherever you be, calling Dr. Dre to surgery. LA is the place for you to be, to witness Dr. Dre in surgery. He has a PhD in mixology, to cut on the wheel so viciously. Boom, boom goes the beat to rock the nation. Freaks receive mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Come here, freak. Losa MC, Dr. Dre operates in surgery. Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, 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 Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, 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 Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, Dr.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Boom. Boom. Surgery right now. We got the one and only DJ Alonzo, a.k.a. Alonzo Williams. Rev, when you hear that, what do you think, man?
Man, you know, it's funny because I'm born and raised on the East Coast, and when I was coming up, it was really hard to get records like this out there for me, you know. So, and I was into it too. I would have people that lived out here that had friends that had cousins and uncles that would send us tapes, like all of Dre's tapes from the swap meet and all the shit that was happening, and I was just fiending for it, but it was hard for me to get my hands on the actual records where I was at on the East Coast. And if I was able to hear shit like this when I was younger, it may have had a bigger impact on, you know, my influence or my style or whatever. So it's really crazy when I'm able to go back and hear these records, and now to be playing this shit with you sitting here, it's kind of, you know, kind of crazy, man.
Right?
But yeah, it's amazing.
Let me ask you this. So Dre got his beginnings, it sounds like, through the World Class Wrecking Crew, right?
Yep.
what happened? Like when you look at the movie, they portray you in a way that you say Roger was. It seemed like you were the controlling one, and didn't believe in the vision they had to go more towards street rap. You wanted to keep it more R&B, sultry, more of a sound like when we listen to Turn Off the Lights. What really happened?
You want the real?
Man, give me the real, bro.
All right, the real is World Class Wrecking Crew we was Pretty Boys.
Okay.
Jerry Curl, sequin suits, the whole 9 yards. In Turn Off the Lights, when I say like a dancer, I take off G-string.
Yeah.
When I do that show, I pull off my pants and shake my nuts. Okay.
Okay, you
All
hear
right.
that?
Had a G-string on, but I shake my nuts. I got a story for that. We don't know if we got time to tell
Yo,
it or
we
not,
learned
okay?
it so much today, yo. He was a poster gangster, a bootlegger, and a nut shaker.
Right.
Damn,
Now,
Fuck.
here's my thing. Lonzo is 8 years older than Dre.
Okay.
7 years older than Cube. Than Easy, and I'm 12 years older than Cube. Okay. So for Lonzo, a grown man from Compton, to be a nightclub owner whose whole background has been non-gang affiliated, all of a sudden at 30 years old to become a rookie gangbanger, ain't gonna fly.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody knew me. They knew my card. They knew that ain't my thing. I worked with a lot of the homies who was with it to protect the Eve After Dark, Doodle, Skateland, all my venues. So they knew that that's not my thing. Okay. When it came to the music, when it came to the movie, I had never in my life heard them do a gangster song in my club ever. It was not. Think about this.
Yeah.
I was out of the club business, or I was out of the Eve for a while. By 1986, there was no gangster raps in 86, 87. Okay? For me to be a Doodle to hear a gangster rap. But what happened was, the true story behind that, excuse me, Dre had did a song for his cousin Jinx. Jinx was in
Sir Jinx.
Sir Jinx was in Cube's group, CIA. Okay? Dre did a song called Fuck All Them Hoes. Okay? I'm trying to find one copy right now. Called Fuck All Them Hoes. Jinx was the guy behind Fuck All Them Hoes. Okay? At Doodles, I hired off-duty cops to do the security, because I'm right there on Pyru. All thing beginning, the epicenter of Bloods is right the next street over from Doodles. So I got cops working for me. I got lieutenants working for me. I got sergeants working for me. So Dre, this is 1985. When I moved to Doodles, my age limit dropped from 18 to 14, because now I'm in Compton. Compton let you have 14 years old in a teen party, okay? So now I got people's kids in this room. I got police watching. It's a different time. Dre plays this song, Fuck All Them Hoes. I just got through talking to this Lieutenant Elvis, rest his soul, white boy, cool, and he runs over to me a few minutes later and starts sweating me. Lonzo, I could arrest you right now for playing that record. What are you talking about? He said, that song great. Your guy just played. Fuck All Them Hoes. I heard it, but I didn't pay no attention.
Yeah.
What would you arrest me for? Contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So he got on my ass for Dre playing the record. So I got on Dre's ass. It wasn't a gangster song, though. So they took that scenario and flipped it into being gangster rap. So made me out to be the world class asshole. Okay, that was never my get down. So they took that scenario of him playing that fuck all them hoes and used it in the movie. Because up until then, I had never heard of gangster rap in my life.
Yeah.
Okay. It was gangster rap didn't come out till after we broke up, long time ago. We had broke up long before. Wrecking. I was out of Doodles and Skateland long before. I was out of Skateland. Doing something else completely.
Skateland was a whole nother venue.
Right, it was right next to Dudos.
Okay.
They was next door to each other. You hop off of Dudos' roof, you land in Skateland's parking lot.
Okay.
I was kicking so much ass at Dudos. The brother the white guy that owns Skateland, Craig Schlesinger, asked me to do Saturday nights on Wheels.
Okay. Saturday Nights on Wheels. These are all legendary, iconic venues that helped shape and mold the whole L.A. music scene. Just like they had iconic venues in New York, right? Or even maybe Philadelphia and soon after in the Bay Area. Ice Cube, CIA, Sir Jinx. where was DJ Pooh when all of this was happening?
DJ Pooh was hanging out. He was just hanging out. Okay.
Okay.
First of all, I got to say something. I got to give Ice Cube a shout out for all the cats. He always give me my respect, dude.
Okay.
He always drops my name on the positive tip. Nothing but love for him. I ain't seen him in a while, but ain't got nothing but love for
Who
him.
was he back then? What was he about? What did you think of Ice Cube?
Oh, Ice Cube was late. He was always quiet. All three guys from CIA, they were all three quiet. Ice Cube was a smart one, though. Jinx was the dancing one, and KD was the one that was always dressed. He was always super clean, laid back, and Cube was always very inquisitive. At that time, he might have been 15, 16 years old, so I really ain't got time to play with him. And some of the things he's asking me, I don't know either, because when it came to this record business, we didn't get no manuals. We just was in the game, didn't know shit about nothing, and we was just blind, leading the blind. We trying to fly the plane as we build it. And he asked me questions about things I don't know about. And he's trying to show me about raps. I'm not a rapper per se. I have rapped. I wrote raps. But you ain't going to find my name on nobody's rap list, okay? And he was just trying. But he was always.
But what did he ask you? Like how do you get paid from records or?
No, it was. He asked about publishing and stuff like that.
At 15.
At that time, I didn't know.
Yeah, how you get paid for records.
Yeah, Ice Cube, man.
I didn't know.
Okay, so you mentioned Eazy-E, who ultimately became the executive of NWA. How did CIA go to NWA, as you know it?
We got signed. Wrecking Crew got signed to Sony. Okay, before we got signed to Sony, my executive producer, Larkin Arnold, asked me did I have another group. And I didn't, technically. But Cube and them had just, they was in the finals for this contest at the skating ring here at World on Wheels. And Jinx was Dre's cousin. So I'm sitting there. I said, yeah, I got a group. And I thought about them. I wouldn't hit them up. And it was 4 of them at first. Jinx, Cube, KD, and Shakespeare. Clientele had just left the Wrecking Crew. So I grabbed Shakespeare, brought him to the Wrecking Crew to be a lead rapper. Now they down to 3. I got them signed to a single deal at Sony. Okay, they had a record out called "She's a Skag." Okay, yeah. Okay, so She's a Skag, and then they actually got them signed first. And our executive producer Larkin Arnold, he left. All of us got dropped, and we went back to McCullough. They came with the new name, Crew in Action. They wanted to be criminals in action, but I don't do the criminal thing. So they came with Crew in Action, so we all came back with EPs, and they came back with this Beastie Boys sounding project, Crew in Action, and CIA.
Yeah,
came at CIA, and then we dropped the House Calls EP with Cabbage Patch, Must Be the Music, and damn, I forgot my other song. It was 3 songs in the goddamn album, okay? And that we went back to McCullough with that. But McCullough was so shady, when we left the first time to go to CBS, he called all our records back in. So he got stacks of shit, world-class album, and he's taxing me. He's double taxing me on the new product. He said, you owe me money for the pressing cost of this old stuff, so you can't get paid on the new stuff. So we ain't getting no money.
Yes.
We're not getting no money. I just bought a house. I got a BMW. My Jerry Curtis drives the motherfucker. My people got turned off. I'm broke as shit. Okay, I'm going through withdrawals. Okay, I can't buy no activator, baby. Shit is fucked up.
Dry as shit.
I can't buy no activator. Okay.
You definitely Terry's friend, Lonzo.
Yo, Soul Glow. He wanted that
shit.
Okay, so McCullough was an independent distributor, if you will, a record company. They were known for being shady. So because you couldn't get no money back, is that how CIA eventually became NWA?
Well, no. Well, kind of, sort of, because now I had financed the car for Dre. I can't pay the note. I'm barely paying my note. I got a house note. I got responsibilities. And it used to be a time, what you need. I can't do that no more. Okay? So people looking at me kind of funny, and I had a few dollars left. I said, I'm gonna make one more slow record. Nobody wanted to make it. I said, well, look, we just had a big hit with Lovers. That was our biggest hit before Turn Off the Lights. That was our first radio record. Now, Surgery and Juice got a lot of play in the clubs, but Lovers got us on the radio. That's what got us on tour. Okay? So I'm gonna make another ballad. Well, man, we need to do more street stuff. Dude, I can't change right now, okay? We already got this. So I had a few dollars left. Went in the studio, bribed all them cats to come in and turn off the lights. I had to write every word because nobody wanted to be bothered with it.
That's how Dre got on it?
That's how nobody wanted to be on the record at all. Nobody wanted to do it. I paid them all, and our CBS contract was over with. My production contract was over with them in like November. Okay? We did the song in like October, and we broke up in November. True story, we have never performed that song together as a group. Never. The 5 people that made that song have never been on stage to perform that song in a group.
So you made Dre wear the makeup and dress in those clothes.
I ain't make nobody do shit. Okay? I didn't make nobody do shit. Okay?
Don't put that on him,
Get
Sway.
that straight. Look.
Get your shit together, Sway.
Look, we had a look that everybody pretty much pitched in on their own vibe. Nobody, we wanted the Temptation. We all wear the same shit.
Yeah.
I still wear the same kind of shit today. I'm not ashamed of my shit. I got on my shit right now. That's me.
Come on, Lonzo.
Okay.
Okay, but people went along with it. Who brought me Chalet?
I found Miss Chalet. One Sunday. I had just come off the road, and I had a date. And one of her friends called, "Hey, Lonzo, I got this girl that can sing." Dude, not today. I got to go. It's been a long week, okay? Dude, come on, man. I'm right around the corner. Come on, blah, 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 blah. And, dude, not today, man. Man, please. I'm right around the corner. I'll be there in 5 minutes. So he came by the pad, brought this little girl to the studio. All right, man, what we got? She wouldn't say nothing. Come on, man. I got to go, dude. What's happening? She wouldn't say nothing. So she walked around in front of the mixing board, turned her back, and started singing. Started blowing. Like, fuck. Where did that come from? So I got up and walked around to see if she got a tape recorder or something in her chest or something. So by that time she got comfortable. She kept singing. She turned around and was rocking. And then I said, "Come on, baby. Come over and talk to me for a minute." Oh!
That's her talking voice.
Homeboy dropped his head. He said, "Yeah, man, that's the trip." But I said,
her talking voice is nothing like her
singing voice. Yeah. And contrary to her movie, in the movie I was looking for some socks. Mm-hmm. I'm in the make company buying socks. I don't even wear fucking socks. Okay, I ain't got no socks on today. Okay,
you really don't have on those socks.
I ain't got no goddamn socks on today, man.
I'm so weak, yo.
I'm in Miami Vice before Miami Vice. Okay. So anyway, she did work at Macy's, and they had me coming all corny and shit. "Hey, I'm Grandmaster Lonzo. I'm looking for a singer," and it was about a year later, because when I wrote "Turn Off the Lights," I wrote it for Mona Lisa, our original singer. Mm-hmm. Mona is a professional singer. She was working with Kashif at the time in Connecticut.
Yes.
And
Kashif, music,
dude,
producer,
come on, man. Come on,
author,
And when I caught up with Mona, she was in Connecticut. She couldn't do the session, so I got the session booked. I got these guys paid. I'm under pressure to produce something, because if I don't do it now, it ain't gonna happen. So I thought about this girl I'd met, picked her up. Contrary to her documentary, I had her on the bus. I ain't never had a woman that worked for me on the bus. I pick up everybody. I'll make sure everybody get a ride. But anyway, picked her up, brought her to the studio, and just like in the movie, they didn't want her to sing because she wouldn't sing. But unlike most singers at that time, she had a request that blew me away. She asked for two strawberry shakes from Jack in the Box.
That's what she wanted?
Most people want coffee or water or something warm. She asked for two strawberry shakes from Jack in the Box. I got them for her, and she sang and knocked the song out. And it was she did a great job.
Okay. Miss Chalet. Big round of applause for that. Check your phone for me, Rev. Wow. We got Alonzo Williams here. And
can I say something?
Yes, absolutely. You're not leaving. Hold up.
Okay. I got a promotion. I got a promotion.
Yes.
I'm the Godfather now of West Coast hip hop. Just so you know.
We got the Godfather.
I got a promotion
of West Coast hip hop here. Alonzo Williams, a.k.a. DJ Alonzo from the World Class Wrecking Crew. You have a hat on that says NWA, not without Alonzo. I want to talk about that hat.
You got it.
And then even the inception of NWA. Heather B., I know you got to go to Urban View.
Headed over to Urban View, channel 126. Love y'all, citizens. Have a beautiful weekend.
I'm going to tune you on, baby. I always listen to you every morning.
There you go. That's what's up. DJ Revolution on the ones and twos. Let's take them back. Miss Chalet, Sway in the Morning, Shade 4-5. No More Lies, Michelet, Sway in the Morning, Shade 405, man. Amazing vocalist. We're going over this West Coast history. We got the founder of the World Class Wrecking Crew, the one and only, the godfather of West Coast hip-hop, DJ Alonzo, a.k.a. Alonzo Williams, is here with us, man. Listen, for me, I have no, I want to keep this on a positive. I'm concerned that a lot of the history that's being told right now is being compromised by the industry that's telling it. In other words, because it's the so-called 50-year anniversary of hip-hop, and there's a lot we can debate about that and debate about hip-hop and its origins. There are a lot of corporations that are putting out a lot of content with voids in it, or it's inaccurate, or you have so-called gatekeepers speaking on things that they don't know, and they're telling misinformation. So when it comes to hip-hop as a whole, the West Coast story has not been properly told.
No way.
And the thing is, the legends and the icons, many of them like yourself, are still here to tell the story, but the platforms, either if they're not opening up their doors, when they do open up their doors, it's only really to get the metrics, to get the views, but not really to get the truth.
Right.
And so I'm happy you're here to tell the truth of what happened on the West Coast at that time. I'm sure that there'll be people out there that might even want to dispute some of the things you're saying.
You know what I find amazing?
Yeah.
How a motherfucker that wasn't even born going to argue with me? Nigga, you wasn't even born yet. How they gonna argue with me about what I did?
Yeah.
I've on my YouTube channel, people have said, oh man, you felt this way. You felt, how the hell you gonna tell me how the fuck I felt? I've never been a hater, man. That's never been my get down, dude.
But you just mentioned, you shouted out Ice Cube because he's one of the few people that always mention you in a positive way. But what are people saying about you that's not in a positive way?
Well, the people think that Straight Outta Compton is a documentary.
Okay.
Oh man, you was a hater. You hated rap. No, I didn't. I'm the first one that brought Curtis Blow to California.
What do you mean?
They say huh?
What do you mean? You brought the first to bring Curtis Blow to California?
At Eve After Dark, 1982. I brought Curtis Blow to Eve After Dark.
Wow.
I brought Run DMC. Cost me $500 to bring Run DMC and Jam Master Jay and DMC to Eve After Dark in 1983. Me and Russell was talking on the phone like I'm talking to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Uncle Jam Zombie brought him back later on, but I'm the one that was doing that. Okay? So I couldn't have hated on hip-hop. Ain't nowhere in the world I can hate on hip-hop. I couldn't hate on gangster rap because I understand this. When NWA first came out, they wasn't gangsters. They was doing street raps.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. When you see the movie Straight Outta Compton, and you see Easy throw Ice Cube and Yella out of the studio, that was at my house. I still live there today. That was at my house.
Mm-hmm.
When Easy brought his demo tape in from doing Boys in the Hood, came into my living room, my dining room, put it in my stereo, put the cassette in my stereo, and I'm sitting there listening to it. Everybody else was laughing. Listen to Easy trying to rap. I said, no, man.
Who's everybody that was laughing?
Everybody was there. Was Cube and the kids, Yella and Dre and Shakespeare. Oh, Easy trying to rap. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm working with it. It took forever. But I'm like, dude, he got action. Why? Because at the same time, one of the biggest records on the radio in L.A. was Pickin' Boogers by Biz Markie. If you can get a hit with Biz Markie, Pickin' Boogers, you can get a hit with Boys in the Hood. I'm an optimistic businessman, dude. I'm looking for opportunities all the time. I don't never hate on nothing. That's not what I do. You can't be successful hating on nothing, man.
So how was NWA formed?
In my living room. Okay. Dre Easy got Dre out of jail. Just like this on the movie. But they didn't tell you I got him out twice before. Okay. Wrecking Crew had to deal with the original plan was Dre was going to produce for both of us, World Class Wrecking Crew and Ruthless. Easy wanted to get out of the game and do something with the record. Easy was watching me the whole time. I'm selling records out of my trunk, out of my car every day.
So Easy was really in the game.
Easy was in the game. Okay. But he's watching me make money doing other stuff. Easy he had a production company. He was doing dances for a while. High Power Productions was doing dances. I was doing dances. He was doing dances. Okay. I started making records. He wanted to make records. I was his first consultant. I'm the one that put him in the game. Well, there was nobody else to come to but Lonzo. When Easy made Boys in the Hood, he had to come to me to go to the swap meets because I had a relationship with the swap meets and all the VIPs because the record stores are all the record business is 100% returnable. They won't buy from you if they can't find you. Because if it don't sell, I want my money back or bring me a new piece of product. So I'm the one that's already in the stores constantly playing the game. So I had to go and co-sign for him to get it to the swap meets. But it took off. It started selling for him. He didn't need me no more. I'm the one that introduced Steve Yano to everybody. I was out selling bootlegs, selling Z-Rock. Steve Yano ran up on me at a distributor. And I'm like, first I saw him.
Who's Steve Yano?
Steve Yano was a Asian brother that ran the Rhodium Swap Meet. Good dude. Him and his wife, Sue. They ran the Rhodium Swap Meet. I'm out making deliveries. I see Steve Yano, and I dropped the records on the counter. I'm looking for you. I thought it was FBI. I'm scared of the motherfucker. I'm going to take off running, okay? He said, no. I'm cool, man. I'm cool. So the guy behind the counter vouched for him, and I reluctantly sold him some records, but then he became one of my biggest customers for Z-Rocks. It got to the point I'd have to make a special order for him every Friday. Him and Sue come by the house every day, so that's how he met Dre and them. Okay? Easy was a part of that. So they go to the swap meet, and Dre would do mixes at the swap meet live. And so I have never been a hater like that. I've always been, hey man, this is my boy so and so. Speaking, that's my folks over there. Mama Boo in the house.
You get on camera. Hey, Rev, come sit right there.
That's my other partner over there, Dusty.
Dusty, okay.
Dusty Visions. That's my team.
Got them in the camera. Can you get them in the camera? You see them, Ty?
They part of my
All
team.
Right, cool. Just show them. Let them get some FaceTime because he was hating on them earlier. All right. So let them get some real time right there.
If you can't take a teasing with me, you can't work for me.
Okay.
You can't work with me at all.
Okay.
You can't be teased.
And so NWA.
Yes.
All right. Ends with Attitude. Formed in your living room.
Living room, yes.
Who came up with the concept?
I think that was, I think it might have been Dre and Easy. I'm not sure, Doc.
Okay.
I'm not really sure.
That's
I
fair.
wasn't paying no attention to him at that time.
That's fair.
Okay. I'm running.
Okay.
Okay. But then see, that's the part that they don't understand. But they don't never tell nobody. I never hated on the music because there was no reason to hate on the music. What I did, what I was uncomfortable with was the name. I'm born in 57, man. I'm 65 years old, okay? When I heard the word nigga come out or N-word come out somebody's mouth, it was always in a negative connotation. My daddy would use that, look at that N-word over there, drinking that wine. He ain't taking care of his business. Probably don't take care. It was like that. So in my mind, the last thing you want to be is an N-word.
Yeah.
Okay? So for them to use that as their name, I didn't agree. I didn't care for that. I didn't think it was going to fly. Meanwhile, I'm hanging out with Larkin Arnold, Gerald Busby, and all these Lowell Silas, all these heavyweight record dudes. How does Lonzo, a 29, 30-year-old homeowner with a kid, I got this group called Niggas with Attitudes. It ain't going to fly.
Yeah.
Now, for me, even when I introduced Eazy-E to Jerry Heller, now, in Jerry Heller's book, when I met Easy, I was like meeting John Lennon. Nah, not quite.
What was it like when you introduced him?
First of all, he didn't want to meet him. Okay? I had to almost twist his arm and, hey, man, I need this favor, blah, blah, blah. Homeboy owe me some money, and he going to pay me, and plus he going to put a little something on it if you give him 15 minutes. That was the deal. Okay? Easy ran up a studio bill already, about $500. He was moving slow. He always kept his money in the sock. That was his dope fiend money. His real money, I'm sorry. His dope fiend money was in his pocket. His real money was in his ankle. Look, he was wearing an ankle bracelet all the time. He had so much money in his socks. Easy, go to the sock and pay me. Oh man, blah blah blah. Make a long story short, he wanted to meet Jerry Heller after we had some issues with our record company. Jerry helped us out. Dre and Yella was speaking highly of Jerry Heller, and he wanted to meet him. So okay, no problem, but it's gonna cost you. So I finally hook him up. After they meet, Jerry calls me up. He says, man, how does a Jewish guy from the Valley represent a black group from Compton called Niggas with Attitudes? And I tell him, very carefully, okay? And it wasn't like it was just jumped off. It kind of morphed over a while. Because understand this, Jerry represented World Class Wrecking Crew, LA Dream Team, and Egyptian Lover. We all businessmen. I've been running nightclubs since I was 22. Rudy was a manager of a Wendy's. And Egypt ran his own label. So we all carried ourselves differently. Easy got a tennis shoes, jeans, white T-shirt with a ankle full of money. Ain't what he was used to. He was kind of reluctant. And then after he saw the success of the record, it was already hitting on the streets.
Yeah.
The first
Listen,
one,
Boys in the Hood.
The NWA and the Posse.
Oh, end up. Oh, wow, the posse.
NWA and the
With
Posse.
the 8-ball on it.
With-
8-ball, yeah.
Yeah. With Candyman and all the folks on there.
Yeah.
Okay, they was already successful then. That was through Makola. So Jerry took that over to Priority,
with Brian Turner.
and it just sold some more units. Okay, so it was already a bubbling under success. But again, before he got to Jerry, he had to go to Lonzo.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ever see me. You don't see me in that part right there. I was the one that made all those. His first contract came from my lawyer, Ken Clavens. So I'll never forget when I took E.T. to the lawyer, and I said, "Man, he wants a fair contract for his artists." And my lawyer called this girl up, "Give me a contract, whatever it is, number so and so." And within 15 minutes, he had the contract. He said $600. He said $600. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's $600. Okay, that was back then. And of course, that contract never got used. But he bought it so he can sign this cat named Rendezvous for his label, who was going to do Fat Girls. I think Ronnie did do Fat Girls, but they fell out because nobody understood the record business.
Yeah.
You're gonna sell it for $2, I'm gonna get 25 cents. How the fuck that's supposed to work?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody understands that. So then they was gonna do the group in Homeboys Only, HBO.
HBO. I remember that.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that didn't work out, and that's how Easy got in the studio.
Wow, and the rest is history. Did y'all not understand? No, but nobody understood that. I felt like when it was called NWA, it was an entendre on that. You know, it was almost to say that in today's society, no matter where you go, this is how they're gonna see us, but differently from who we were in the past, or how we're not gonna be dormant. We're gonna have attitudes about it, and then kind of take the narrative from the word and make it something different.
You know, that's always one of the ways it can be interpreted. It's just that certain people, when you have something ingrained in your brain in a certain way,
Yeah,
it's hard to remold concrete.
yeah.
If it was wet and gushy like clay, you can remold that. But when it's got hard, you can't remold concrete. And some people, no matter what you say, that word's still gonna have a certain connotation to it. And I'm one of the people. I mean, I use it, but I ain't gonna put it on my T-shirt. I got it on my hat, but instead not without Alonzo.
Okay, so NWA could not have happened without Alonzo.
Not without Alonzo. Everything about this came through me.
Okay.
Wow.
Do you wish you had got contracts on those guys yourself?
I had contracts on them, but understand this though, man. I've asked a lot of questions. I've asked this question a lot in the past. People got to go back to them days, man. When they first came out, they was catching hell. And understand this: when they first came out, when they broke up, they left me to turn off the lights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm headlining the tours that we own together. I'm the headliner. Now, because Jerry was representing World Class Wrecking Crew and NWA, he booked me, Ice-T, Just Ice, World Class Wrecking Crew all together. I'm the only non-gangster act, but they opened it up for me. Why am I mad?
I see what you mean.
Why am I mad? I got a hit record.
Okay, I'm a pivot for a second because I want to touch on this, and then we probably gonna have to do a part 2. Okay, if you don't mind. There was a platform that was really instrumental in L.A. and not just L.A., hip-hop in general, getting the exposure at a time where you could not get rap played on radio called K-Day.
Yeah.
Right? Here in Los Angeles, 24 hours, 7 day a week, rap station. Greg Mack, Russ Parr. These are pivotal names in K-Day's history. Mix Masters, you know, K-Day Mix Masters.
We were the first ones that did that. Well, I'm sorry, we wasn't the Mix Masters. We did the first traffic jams.
Okay.
When Greg came to town, when he came to L.A. from Texas, I was one of the first people he met.
Mm-hmm.
And I just closed down Eve After Dark. I was moving to Dudo's. I was a little nervous because Dudo's a much bigger venue. And I played him some of my Z-Rocks. He loved them. I want these every day, 15-minute mixes every day to play from 5 to 5:15. Every day, make a record, you can't do it. He said, no worry, just put it on tape. So I had a small 4-track studio at my pad. So me and Greg cut a deal. The deal was, I'm going to deliver you a mix every day, 15 minutes, brought to you by Dre or Easy. I'm going to deliver it, but I need a plug before and after the mix to promote Dudo's. And he did that. So every traffic jam, first thing you heard, the traffic jam is brought to you by the World Class Wrecking Crew. You hear them live. You see them live at Dudo's, 135th and Central, first, before and after. So now what happened is, because of that deal, I didn't need to buy no advertising for Dudos, because that 15 minutes was the hottest 15 minutes in radio. It was recorded every day. Dudos stayed packed. Plus, Greg was bringing us acts. He brought us LL Cool J, brought us New Edition. He brought us Midnight Star. So we had a hell of a day. We was killing Big Six. Plus, he's playing our records on the radio. So then we got too popular. We got started making hits on records. We couldn't do the mixes no more. So he created his own group. That became the Mixmasters. But they came in after us.
What year was that?
About 85, 86.
Damn.
That's blowing my mind right now, man.
Yo, right?
That's blowing my mind. Because I was, when you asked me, hey, you had any questions? The only questions that I had were, how did your generation connect with the younger generation, like Tony G and the rest of them that came up underneath you guys? And that was,
That was it.
That's crazy, man. It just was just like that. It was already connected, and it's wild, man.
So who were the original Mixmasters? Can you name them, or do you know them?
I think it was Tony G.
Tony G. Salute to Tony G. When we came to L.A., man, that brother sold Sway and Tech and DJ Revolution.
man.
He embraced us and showed us nothing but
Tony's
love.
the man.
Yo, give that man a round of applause. If you don't know who Tony G is and listening around the world, you need to know
He'll
him.
still get down on those tables like it was 30 years ago.
We all were together at the NAMM show 2 weeks ago. Tony G,
Yep.
DJ Aladdin,
Ralph M was
Battle
there.
Cat, Greg Mack, Edwin from Music People, and a bunch of other folks, man. And these cats has got AARP cards, still getting their groove on, Doc.
Really?
For real.
Arabian Prince?
Battle Cat was up there killing it too,
Yes.
man.
We have Battle Cat up here telling the history. Arabian Prince, we brought him up. He's really heavy into technology.
Yes.
I saw him interviewing with Dominique DePrima.
Right.
And then Julio G came in after that too, right?
Right.
And then Julio G and Eazy-E had West Side
Radio.
Ruthless Radio.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Ruthless Radio. We had the world famous Wake Up Show.
Okay.
We would come on after them.
Okay.
And then it was West Side Radio,
Okay.
and Julio G continued the tradition
Right.
of it all, right?
Right.
Russ Parr.
Russ Parr, Bobby Jimmy.
Bobby Jimmy. People don't realize that Russ Parr, on their personality, who's incredible, somebody I look up to, was Bobby Jimmy in the Critters, right?
Bobby Jimmy, Russ Parr is a funny dude, and he took the same route as Weird Al Yankovic on R&B records.
Yeah.
And he had records. He took Time Make Social Club's Rumors and made Roaches.
That was
about
also on
these
Macola too. That was also
Yeah,
Macola.
that was all on
Records,
Macola.
Yeah.
Me and Russ still tight to this day, man.
Tell him I said what up, man.
sure
He's a
will.
legendary, iconic
Yes, sir.
radio personality. Give him a round of applause.
Yes, sir.
How important was K-Day in the Mixmasters?
Man, K-Day took it to the next level, dude. Because KGFJ was the first station to play hip hop. Kevin Fleming was the first one to play hip hop. We only played at a certain time. K-Day was the first one to make the all hip hop format and embraced it the way they did, and supported it in so many different ways. I mean, Wrecking Crew, even before we blew up, we were the K-Day DJs. We out every week doing opening Church's Chicken at the grocery store, and wherever they had some electricity, we plugging in DJing and shit. We just rocking. Okay, we was K-Day boys. They called us the K-Day boys. Okay, before Greg got there.
Yeah.
I was laughing at a brother the other day. I met a brother the other day at Compton College. Man, y'all used to do my high school dances. He's 60 years old. That's how we did it back in the day before Greg got there.
Egyptian Lover, to me, was somebody who was really unique, and it seemed like he always just moved to a beat of his own. What was it?
Individual.
Talk about Egyptian Lover.
Egyptian Lover, good dude. He came out. He was one of the most blessed cats on the West Coast. One of his first songs was Egypt. Big hit record. Egypt. And he was a part of Uncle Jam's Army. He's one of Uncle Jam's Army's main DJs. And he's a very talented cat. He would play records backwards and stuff. Okay. He was a talented DJ. He playing backwards and had included 808 with it, the whole 9 yards. And he had an independent label called Egyptian Empire Records. And when by him being a part of Uncle Jam's Army, he was a competitor of ours. We got love for him, but he was a competitor because he's on the other side. And we always had to figure out a way between Wrecking Crew and Uncle Jam's Army to one-up each other. And when Egypt dropped Egypt. It was such a big record. It made me go do the world class album. We're gonna be the first ones to have an album on the West Coast. Okay. And that's kind of love hate we had for each other. Very talented brother, still rocking today.
Can you speak on the L.A. Dream Team?
L.A. Dream Team, Rudy Pardee, rest in peace. Snake Puppy, me and Snake Puppy, we hang out on a regular basis shooting pool right now. Okay, we walk every Sunday. We got an old man walk we do every Sunday out at Marina Del Rey. He's part of that crew now. And when Rudy first came to L.A., he worked at a Wendy's on Century and Crenshaw. And this Wendy's was so new to L.A., it would be a line every day. Okay, and he was the manager over there. He hired Snake Puppy on fries, and then he came when the Snake Puppy would start making records. They both tall brothers, both tall, slim cats. Snake Puppy can rap. Rudy was doing production, and they came up with their first song that I remember was Rockberry Jam.
Rockberry. Yo, we used to play that and that was in our elementary and junior high school dances.
Yes,
but
sir.
It was that song,
Yes.
and we knew it was from L.A.
Yep.
Do you feel when NWA came out, it changed everything? Shout out to people like King T. Shout out to DJ Pooh. But it changed everything. Did people from your generation have difficulty adjusting to this new wave of express?
Yeah.
Okay, what was that like at that time?
Well, you know what? Understand this, man. And I tell people, look, go to the movies for the references. Look at House Party 1.
Mm-hmm.
You got everybody partying and getting their groove on. You got Martin DJing with all the speakers and stuff in the back of the car. You got 3 gangsters, full force.
Yeah.
Okay. Then a year later, you got Boys in the Hood. Ain't everybody a gangster except for 2 cats, and one of them get killed. And that's how the street shifted. We went from dancing, having a good time, partying. I mean, dude, I gave parties all my life. I probably gave more parties in L.A. than anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people gave bigger parties, but ain't nobody gave as many. I've been running nightclubs since 1979. I just stopped in 2019. I own nightclubs. I've done this for a living. Everything I got from playing records. So for the climate to change so much where you can't put nobody in the club no more, man.
Yeah.
It's almost not safe to have people get together no more, man. I can't eat like that. Can't nobody have LA used to have 40, 50 clubs. It might be 3 now.
Yeah. So the whole society was going through a change, and then we were entering the Reagan years. We were entering the crack era. The messaging and the music changed, and then the movie Colors came out. Right? Do you think the Colors portrayal of L.A. was accurate at the time? And then what kind of impact you feel like that movie played? And then Ice-T became huge off of the song.
Right.
Right.
The one thing I remember about Colors, my partner went to the movie and killed a dude after the movie. And they tried to say the movie was related to the movie, and it wasn't. Okay? He was at the movie, saw the movie. Him and the dude got into it, and somebody ended up dead. My partner ended up doing 31 years in the penitentiary behind that movie. They played the movie in the trial. I testified for him, but they played the movie in the trial, and that helped convict my partner. Shout out to Fat Fat. Just got out about 3 years ago. Okay? So no matter what the streets were like, that was the perception they projected on the jury, and that was the perception that was being projected on the world. That everybody was savage, everybody was a killer, and it was rough. Trust me. Sometimes it wasn't as bad as they made it out to be. Sometimes it was worse.
And so that movie influenced neighborhoods, the black community across the board.
Yes.
You feel like it was a cancer or a detriment?
Yes, it was definitely a detriment to the community. Definitely.
Wow.
And then the fact that the dope was dropped on the community, because we always had gangs, we always had dope. But it wasn't until like the 80s, you got Reese's Pieces, baby. You got the peanut butter with the chocolate, okay? And it's a whole different flavor now. You know, the dope game was a gentleman's game for decades. When the kilo was $30,000, ain't nobody on the block having that. Ain't no youngsters selling. Ain't no youngsters got $30,000 to buy buy a kilo of dope. But when it's 13.5, and you got 3 or 4 cats that can flip it real fast, you got action now. Now you got to protect your territory. Because if you're doing business over here and making money, somebody want this territory. Now you got to protect it. What you got to do? You got to strap up. You've seen it in every movie. You've seen it in every doggone television show. When somebody starts making some money, if they want to encroach on your territory and take it over, so you got to protect yourself, and that creates beef and hatred and the whole 9 yards. And that stuff gets perpetrated for decades, and we still fight these civil wars in 2015, 2023.
Yeah. Man, give this man a round of applause. The godfather of West Coast hip-hop. That's what he said. You got to call him that now, Tracy G.
Listen, I got no problem with that. I see why.
Okay. Alonzo Williams, a.k.a. DJ Alonzo, man, we got to keep talking. We got to keep having these conversations. We only walked it up a little bit. What do you got going on today?
Tonight at the Barbara Morrison Center in Los Angeles in Leimert Park, I'm screening my documentary, doing a private screening for my documentary, Compton Love. If you saw the Super Bowl 2023, Dr. Dre stood on the club, and we did a documentary on what that club meant to the community. It was a different time, man.
So that stage set was a club?
It was a club, City Hall of Compton, and Tams, where Suge ran over brother Terry Carter, rest in peace.
Yeah,
man, that's crazy. I was there. I didn't make the connection.
See, most people don't. That's why I made the documentary.
Yeah,
I got to give a shout out to my boy Wave out of Chicago. He's doing a series of documentaries called "You Can't Erase Me," featuring brothers and sisters from New York. And of the first 10 series, I'm the 10th one in a 10 episode series for representing the West Coast. So. There are stories being told, but we got to tell them ourselves.
Yeah.
If you're an artist and waiting on somebody to tell your story, you're going to be a waiting ass.
Yeah, right. Okay. And if people want to reach you, how can they find you? You got the YouTube channel?
I got the YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram, Real Alonzo NWA. If you really want to catch me, dial this number. Can I give them a number?
Yeah, sure.
424-363-8141. In the message, text Lonzo. Okay? And you'll be on. I have your hookup. That's one more time. 424-363-8141. Text Lonzo, and you got me hooked. You got to be hooked up.
Man, when's the last time somebody gave a phone number out?
Come on, man.
Old
school, I can't help it.
424. So do it anyway. See if it works.
People might not be able to figure that one out.
Yeah, I know. 363-8141. I want to thank everybody that came by this week as we broadcasted live from L.A. I want to thank our engineer John on this side of SiriusXM and the SiriusXM staff, my staff over in New York, DB and Torch for holding it down, man. Let people know how they can reach you, bro.
Hey,
Torch.
Hit me up. I'm at Torchington. That's Torch, INGTON. Hit me.
It's really DB everywhere.
There you go, Tracy G.
Citizens, love y'all. Had a lot of fun this week. Hit me up Twitter, Instagram at It's Tracy G, ITSTRACYG.
I want to thank my nephew for coming by. We got Jay Wall here just hanging out. Jay Wiggity, say what up, man. Just say what up, man.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Tracy G, man. It's been a minute. Hope you doing well. Shout out to all the listeners, man. You're a legend, DJ.
Much
you know
love.
what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Giving love to everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Shout out your people, Jay Wall.
Hey, man, shout out to Ethos, man. You know what I'm saying?
Get
Shout
on
out
the camera,
Ethos,
man.
man.
Come
What's
on,
going on? What's going on?
Okay. Jordan, come here, man.
Family affair.
Come over here. Come to the left. Make sure the camera hit him. Okay. All right, we got some citizens that came by. My man Louis is here. Louis, what up, brother? Say what up to everybody, man. Come on, man.
Hey, Louis.
Go, hurry up, man. The show ended. Hurry up, man. Say what up, man.
What up, citizens? Shout out to Sway for having us up here.
Yeah.
Family.
You want to shout out?
Tracy G.
What up? That's love.
Okay, go. You brought your daughter, man. Come on, don't leave your daughter out.
Come on, girl,
Jada's
dad.
Here. Come on, my niece, Jada. What up, Jada?
I'm blessed to say that Jada just graduated from UCLA, so.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Thank y'all for having us.
Okay, it's a family show, Revolution. This is my brother, DJ Revolution, one of the best that ever did it. And still doing it, man. So, man, it felt good, man. I felt like we might have to do this wake up show thing all over again.
Hey, man, you talk to your people here, man.
Okay, sometimes, man, you sitting on gold and don't even know it, and so people here under this rooftop, SiriusXM, need to recognize what we truly have. You need to recognize the talent that you have under this roof. And I'm speaking to every executive, and you can spread it to any executive that work for this corporation. You have tremendous, invaluable talent. You don't pay enough. It ain't enough to pay. But you should recognize that you have them here. DJ Revolution. How can they reach you?
Damn.
Wow.
Oh, caught me off guard there. Just follow me at DJ Revolution everywhere. And yeah, I'm just out here teaching these people how to do what we do, and like Lonzo, filling in the gaps and making connections and making sure that everybody knows what happened and what brought us to the point that we at, and how we can continue this so that people, it doesn't fall off, it doesn't go astray, it doesn't become a detriment, you know. So they get the real look, and that's kind of the only way we can keep this shit going and make sure that we are living in the world that we came up in.
Absolutely, and you brought your son with you today.
That's right, man.
Young Silas. Come here, man. Just say peace to the audience, man. He the coolest dude in the room, to be honest with you, man.
I had to dap him up when I came in here.
Yeah, I saw you dap him up. You felt his energy, right?
Yeah.
You special, young man. You got something special about you, man.
Don't let that go to your head, man.
Okay, man. You ain't got to clean your room tonight.
hey. No. He still got to clean it.
Absolutely.
June 16th, I do a Father's Day event in Compton.
Okay.
Also, fellas, I got to do this, man. I'm a prostate cancer survivor, man.
Yes.
Wow.
Every year I do a prostate cancer walk. I'm doing my prostate cancer walk September 16th, Cal State Dominguez 3rd annual event. Come out there, fellas. Be a man up and get checked, man. Dying from prostate cancer is the dumbest thing you can do.
There you go, man. You heard it from DJ Alonzo. And that message I was sent is not just about only Revolution. There's a lot of people under the roof of Sirius XM that value needs to be recognized. I'm talking to Torres. I'm talking to Swaggy C's. I'm talking to Roxanne Shantays. I'm talking to J1s. I'm talking to the Ron Mills. I'm talking all of these folks that work under this umbrella, this talent that you find on the air. I'm talking to Static Selectors. I'm talking to Coach PRs. I'm talking to Who Kids. I'm talking to Big Vons. I'm talking to everybody, even if I miss your name. Anybody that's talent that's working under these roofs, recognize what you have in this company and make sure you pay them right and you treat them right. I'm talking to Heather B's. I'm talking to DB's. I'm talking Torches. I'm talking to Tracy G's. I'm talking to everybody. I ain't got to talk myself, Alonzo, because I already know what it is.
Do they have any West Coast personalities on this channel?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a job in my retirement. I'll take a shot.
Okay.
Take a shift.
Right. Okay, man. Yeah. Well, there are West Coast talent. L.A. Leakers work here as well. We got a lot of great talent. Under this roof, but sometimes it takes us to let them recognize what it is they have, including myself. So it's a great platform. It's huge, and let's make it even greater, all right? Thank you all for tuning in. I'm at Real Sway across the board. All these interviews can be found on Sway's Universe, the YouTube channel. Give us a couple days to turn this around. Ty, my videographer that came out, PVA, how can they reach you, Ty? I am Ty Davis, man.
Man, thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I hope you had a good time, bro.
Wait. This is my first big interview, man.
Really?
This is my first
How'd you like
interview.
it?
I loved it, dude.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Dude gave me his cell phone number when we first met. That's real.
Come on, man. Lonzo, what am I to
That's
do?
real.
What am I to do? And shout out to my brother, DJ King Tech. Without him, there's no me in this, okay? All right. Carmelita. Shout out to Carmelita. I'll see you later today. We're going to be doing something at her facility. And on that note, citizens, have a great day. Have a great weekend. Stay on the right side of positivity. And we have nothing left to say.